You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a tornado ripped through Carl Junction 20 years ago. We take a look back at 20 years in the past as the 4 states remembers it like it was yesterday.
And from mechanic to doctor, we have the story of one man's journey from working on cars to helping others in medicine.
And we've got ourselves a fairly decent start for us this Friday morning. We'll see the clouds return and we'll stay a little bit cool ahead of a very warm weekend. We'll talk about that and some additional rain chances coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. An Allen County, Kansas man will not stand trial on charges of first-degree murder. Raymond Maloney faced charges of murder and interference with law enforcement in the death of Richard Deal. Court records show Maloney underwent a mental evaluation earlier this year. Last month, the court held a hearing to review the results, and now the court, with prosecution, decided that Maloney is not competent to stand trial and is unlikely to become competent in the foreseeable future. He was involuntarily committed to Larned State Security Hospital. Area residents from Joplin yesterday gathered for a town hall meeting to discuss prescription misuse and fentanyl awareness. The Joplin Area Coalition hosted the town hall meeting to provide education and how to be safe with prescription drug use and fentanyl. Aaron Gooch, school resource officer with the JPD, says 6 out of 10 pills on the street have fentanyl content in them. He says drug experimentation nowadays is not the same as a generation ago.
If somebody is abusing those pills and buying them off the street, it may not be the first one that they get, but one shortly thereafter could have a lethal dose that they don't even know contains fentanyl. So again, it's kind of changed what it means to experiment with drugs and perception of harm and that kind of stuff with medication abuse.
Officer Aaron Gooch reminds residents about the Missouri Good Samaritan law that protects the caller from arrest on drug charges if someone is having a medical emergency. Tuesday marked 20 years since a deadly tornado killed 19 people and injured 143 in southeast Kansas and in southwest Missouri. It also destroyed or damaged thousands of homes. The F3 tornado that hit Carl Junction, Missouri, touched down in Cherokee County, Kansas, before moving through Smithfield and then into Carl Junction. More than 30% of the buildings in the city were damaged, including $6.5 million in damage to schools. That same day, an EF4 twister destroyed about 200 homes in Franklin, Kansas, as well as the post office and the community center. Tornado lifted briefly before touching back down across the state line in rural Barton County, Missouri. In all, that tornado claimed 7 lives.
And we've got ourselves no severe weather in our immediate forecast, which is good. We're looking all right so far. We got some scattered showers out in southeast Kansas, and these will kind of hang around for a little bit this morning before they eventually clear out. MoDOT camera back to that at 20th and Rangeline. We are looking good. The roads are still a little bit on the wet side, but we got some sunshine, and the KDOT camera has decided that either it suddenly became the middle of night or it's just not working right now. You can see clouds off in the distance, but a little bit of sunshine breaking through out there in Joplin. 56 right now, southeast breeze at 10 miles an hour. Got pretty good temperatures with a southerly southeasterly breeze at 55 in Pittsburgh, 58 Chanute Parsons, 58 in Miami as well, and 56 in Neosho. We get our day started. We're going to be breezy. We'll have those clouds return and maybe an isolated shower or two out in Kansas, and then we're into the mid 60s by late morning. We go into the rest of the day. Cloudy skies keeping us a little bit cool, a little bit breezy as well, lower to mid 70s across the area, and we'll hold on to mostly cloudy skies as we head into the evening and early overnight hours, and we'll eventually drop back down to a low right around 65. We're pushing near 90 Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, great day to get outdoors. Sunday, not a bad day. Storms return in the evening. Much needed rain chances every day next week with temperatures in the 80s and lows in the 60s. Tanya?
All right, thanks, Chris. One man's fate is in the hands of Oklahoma's Governor Kevin Stitt. On Thursday, faith leaders and state representatives pleaded for the governor to grant clemency to this man. Megan Mosley has more.
A group of faith leaders gathered here at the Capitol today asking Governor Stitt to save the life of death row inmate Richard Glossip, who's set to be executed in 2 weeks.
Governor, you got a tough job, and everybody knows it. But the thing to do is to look at this case.
A plea to save the life of a man who's been on death row for over 20 years.
I believe the moral ground to stand on in support of the death penalty at all in Oklahoma is quickly shrinking, and I believe there is no moral ground to stand on in executing Richard Glossip.
Faith leaders and state reps alike saying the evidence in the case isn't strong enough.
Lord, put us on the right path to do the right thing.
Glossip is on death row for the 1997 murder of his boss, Barry Van Treese. Glossip has maintained his innocence.
This cannot be a merely political conversation. This is a human conversation. This is not a partisan conversation. This is a moral conversation about how we will treat one another as human beings.
The Pardon and Parole Board voted against recommending clemency for Glossip. A.G. Drummond previously asked the U.S. Supreme Court to grant a stay of execution, but Governor Stitt will ultimately decide Glossip's fate. We've reached out to his office for a comment, but still haven't heard back.
Well, graduation is quickly approaching for Kansas City University medical students. In less than a week, David Kanarowski's dreams of becoming a doctor will become a reality. But before the white coat, he was wearing coveralls in a mechanic shop. Although he's older than the average medical student, he says he knows he can still impact the world.
So it has a frame just like a car, but we call them bones. It has fluids, just like a car has oil and coolant. Your body has blood flowing through it.
David's long-term goal is to volunteer for an international hospital ship to give aid to those around the world. On Thursday, Missouri Southern and Crowder College signed a memorandum of understanding. The agreement creates a 2+2 program for social work and healthcare administration students. Those programs will make it easier for those students to transfer to Missouri Southern after completing their associate's degrees from Crowder.
I know we both hope that our students gain a tremendous high-quality education, but do it in a way that is efficient and effective for them, so that transfer articulation helps them succeed and complete their degree in a very efficient way.
Presidents of both schools signed the agreement at the Arnold Farber building on Crowder's Neosho campus. Well, coming up, Pastor Talent from Victory Life Church stops by to tell us all about a KC Family Day happening at the Plaster Center in Pittsburgh.
And later, 2 teens take a tank to prom. We covered this bizarre story, the Jeannie Moose style. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Be right back. First, another live look from Baxter Springs ahead of Cowtown Days. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We've got ourselves a couple of showers still hanging on in southeast Kansas, and we could see a couple more isolated ones further east in southeast Kansas this morning, and then those will eventually clear on out of here. MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline looking to the south. We've got sunshine out there, at least temporarily. Same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, but we're just kind of in this almost like a hurricane eye hole where the clouds are all around us, but they will start to fill back in as the morning progresses. We're sitting at 56 in Joplin right now, southeast breeze at about 10. Temperatures across the region, not too bad. They haven't done a lot of movement. Look at all these 55s. I cannot get over how many 55s are being reported. We're talking Stockton, Carthage, Lamar, Nevada, Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, Iola. And then we're starting to warm up to the south. 58 Parsons, Miami, 56 Neosho, 58 in Anderson, but still a lot of mid-50s out there. We're going to be a little bit breezy this morning. Clouds will begin to increase yet again, and then we could see those isolated showers in southeast Kansas, mid-60s by late morning. We head into the afternoon. Cloud cover keeps us a little bit on the cool side, but not bad. We're talking lower to mid-70s, and we'll hold on to the clouds as we go into the evening and early overnight hours. We drop back down to a relatively pleasant 65. But that 65 sets us up for this business. We're talking pushing near 90 Saturday and Sunday. If you can believe it. Of course you can believe it. If you've lived in the 4 states for more than a couple of years, you can absolutely believe that it's going to be near 90 degrees tomorrow. Saturday, great day to get outside and enjoy. Sunday, Great day to get outside and enjoy. By Sunday evening, more much-needed rain chances. They hang with us all the way through next weekend. There's going to be scattered thunderstorm chances off and on, so don't cancel your plans. Just be prepared. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s. Overnight lows staying quite pleasant as well into the 60s. Well, a new Star Wars video game continues the adventures of a Jedi Knight against the Galactic Empire. Rick Damigella reports.
You were only a child when they sent you off to war. Now look at you. The weight of a galaxy on your shoulders.
The adventures of Jedi Knight Cal Kestis and his droid sidekick BD-1 continue in Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Didn't I tell you to be more careful about who you scan?
Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the ongoing tale of the adventures of Cal Kestis, who was introduced in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. He was a young man starting to understand that he has Force powers, and he becomes a Jedi. But in Survivor, he sort of assumes the responsibilities of the Jedi, and he's trying to find more allies for the Republic battle against the Empire.
Hope may feel beyond our grasp. I think we finally found somewhere the Empire can't reach us.
And what's beautiful about this game is that it really ties together a lot of history around the Force and around Jedi, the Jedi Order and the philosophies of the Jedi. And I don't want to spoil anything, but it is a really cool connect the dots adventure with fantastic action.
After all we've done, the Empire's only grown stronger.
And if you're a Star Wars nut like myself, you are in heaven with this game. It's absolutely wonderful.
Using the Force in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Of course, we all know that I'm a big Star Trek fan, but still, these games just get more and more amazing every single time we see a new game come out. And one of these days is you're not going to be able to tell the difference between the game and real life. We'll be right back after this, but first, we got another live look from Baxter Springs ahead of Countdown Days.
They'll have packages, even if they're Saturday packages. Yeah. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We have Pastor Donnie Talent in studio this morning here to tell us about a super fun family day coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, it's the Casey Wolf Family Day at the Plaster Center.
And Casey Wolf will be there.
Casey Wolf will be there. Gus the Gorilla will be there. Yeah, we got a lot going on. We're excited. We're really excited.
What can people expect?
Well, the key is to be able to have a photo with Casey Wolf, kind of just a family day. Families come in and get that photo. But we'll have bouncers, we'll have hot dogs, we'll have some popcorn, we'll have a lot of other activities. We'll also have the ability to, a drawing for 4 KC Chief tickets and free parking. So we're really excited about somebody's going to win that.
The free parking.
Yeah, the free
too.
parking is the key, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
That'll be really good.
Okay, so you'll have food.
We will have food. Pittsburgh Fire Department will be there cooking up some hot dogs. We'll have chips and water. Yeah, we just want to make it a nice community day. Nothing too crazy. We just want to open up doors. Pittsburgh State University was a great partner to put this event on, and we just want to open the doors and let everybody know, hey, Pittsburgh's got a great community.
Now, typically you have your family days at the Victory Life Church campus.
Correct.
But this year you've moved it to
Yeah,
Plaster
we moved
Center.
it to the Plaster Center to be able to have that connection with Gus the Gorilla and the Pitt State Athletics out there. Just as much as we can to let everybody know that the community is a really cool thing. I think going through the COVID cycle, we've kind of missed some community, and it's good to always put those pieces back together and let everybody come together. No strings, everything's free, just got to sign up. We're not trying to make a buck. We just want to let everybody know, come on, let's get some smiles, let's see some good family photos, let's see some smiles on kids' faces. I'm not a Chief fan, but I wouldn't mind if kids show up with a Patrick Mahomes wig or anything like that.
That would be cool. That'd be really cool.
Just fun. We just want to have a good, fun community family day.
if you've never been to a Family Day event by Victory Life, hosted by Victory Life Church, let me tell you, Pastor Talent knows how to put on a good party.
Well, that's good. Those are all community pieces too.
Yeah.
With KOAM support, Pittsburgh Fire, Pitt State, all those community pieces really come together and do a great job. So we're excited.
So the sign-up process, you go through Eventbrite.
Eventbrite, and it'll narrow you down. 11 to 3 is the event, so you pick your hour. You just need one ticket. One ticket will cover the entire family.
Perfect.
So you don't need to, have 6, 7 tickets. Just one ticket will cover your entire family. Bring the family out. More than enough parking out of the Plaster and Pitt State and right by the Bicknell Arts and all that stuff. More than enough parking to be able to do everything that we need to do for the day.
Sounds like it'll be fun.
It will be great. A lot of smiles.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks, Tanya. Thanks for everything you do. You guys rock. The morning show.
You do too. All right, we'll be right back.
Well, forget the limo. A teen in Washington State went to prom in his dream vehicle.
But his date chose to meet him at the dance. Jeannie Moose reports.
Teenagers might dream of a kiss at their prom, or dance, or arriving in a limo. But how about arriving in a tank? This is how Washington State resident Sherman Bynum made his entrance at the Camas High School prom in the turrets of a World War II tank.
Sherman, are you happy?
Heck yeah. We're kind of tired of seeing sports cars, limousines, the average ride. But also as a teenage boy, I like tanks.
It was offloaded near the prom venue, the treads rubberized to avoid damaging roads, a bagpiper known as the Unipiper served as an escort. Sherman, no relation to the tank, used a GoFundMe page to raise the $1,000 needed to rent the tank from a collector who did the driving. As for Sherman's date,
He asked me with a sign that said I'd be thankful to take you to prom with me, and it was perfect.
Perfect, though to protect her gown,
She did not want to sit inside of the tank. That was not something she was interested in at all.
Sherman already has plans for next year's senior prom.
We're going to be jumping out of a plane.
Dropping in out of the sky like James Bond, though Sherman's mom says,
No, absolutely not. We need to keep our feet on the ground. He'll end up doing it. I'll end up protesting the whole time. I'll be going down behind him going, Sherman, way!
and don't expect his date to be parachuting to the prom if she's still around. The tank did not tank the relationship.
The tank did not tank the relationship.
Ginny Mose, CNN, New York.
The tank is cool.
It is.
And maybe if she had a different style of dress, she could have got in there. I
Possibly.
imagine it is a little
I don't
tighter
know.
fitting, hard to get in and out. But let's talk about this bagpiper.
I love him.
A Darth Vader hat?
Darth Vader outfit, flames coming from the bagpipes. I can think of no
On
better
a
way
unicycle.
to have a tank come down the road. I mean, it's like having your own escort.
Just having him as like a processional leader, like it's just all you need, right?
It was great. We've got more great news and weather and other things right after this.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It is currently 7:27. Missouri lawmakers met Thursday night to put $2.8 billion towards expanding Interstate 70 across the state. Lawmakers also agreed to add $5 million for an environmental study on Highway 63 from Kabul to Houston and $20 million for an environmental study on the I-44 corridor. Labette County Emergency Assistance Center celebrated 25 years of serving the community. The center hosted an open house and ribbon cutting. They provide emergency assistance to Labette County, Kansas residents, such as financial aid and a food pantry. Officials say their mission has remained the same over this last quarter century: to help those in need.
That's what we're here for. We're here for everybody, and we all need help sometimes. It can happen to the best of people that, one day something can happen and all of a sudden you do need help. So we encourage everybody to come. If people don't want to come, we tell them it's okay. You shouldn't be ashamed. That's what we're here for.
The center is located at 301 North 30th Street in Parsons. Joplin Art Gallery hosted an auction to support those in need. Local Color Art Gallery hosted its spring open house. During the event, people were able to bid on art pieces created by 18 award-winning local artists. All of the money raised from the auction will benefit the Ronald McDonald House of the Four States.
It's the community that supported us for the last 25 years, and now here we are among the artists that are doing that for us. It feels always good to be at a local organization where local artists can actually earn a living.
The art pieces up for auction included original paintings, glass and resin art, jewelry, 3D glass, leatherworks, stained glass, wood turnings, and furniture.
Well, we are watching the clouds start to roll back in across the area. You can see them on our camera from 7th and Range Line. So those clouds will return. They're going to keep us a bit cooler today. Still not bad, but a bit cooler. 56 right now in Joplin, southeast breeze at about 10 miles an hour. It'll be a little breezy from time to time, but nothing too bad. You have 55 Iola, Fort Scott, Pittsburgh, 57 Parsons, Chetopa, 58 Miami, and 56 in Neosho. We get our day started. Clouds increase. Could be another isolated shower or two in southeast Kansas. These will be short-lived, but they are possible. Mid-60s by late morning. Temperatures today under those cloudy skies, low to mid-70s across the area. And as we head into the evening, clouds stick with us through the overnight or early overnight hours, and we drop back down to a pretty mild 65 degrees ahead of near 90-degree temperatures for Saturday and Sunday. Nice day Saturday, not bad Sunday. Sunday late evening, showers and storms start to move in. We'll have thunderstorm chances nearly every day next week. Some temperatures in the 80s, lows in the 60s. Tanya?
Historic verdict reached in the seditious conspiracy trial against 5 members of the far-right militia group, the Proud Boys. It surrounds their actions leading up to and on the day of the deadly January 6th U.S. Capitol insurrection. Cole Higgins has the latest.
4 members of the Proud Boys who are alleged to have leadership positions in the far-right extremist group found guilty of seditious conspiracy by a jury in Washington, D.C., more than 2 years after the deadly attack on the U.S. Capitol. Defendants Enrique Tarrio, the Proud Boys' longtime chairman, Ethan Nordine, Joseph Biggs, Zachary Real, and Dominic Pizzola faced a range of charges for their roles to forcibly prevent the peaceful transfer of power from then-President Donald Trump to Joe Biden after the 2020 election. All 5 defendants found guilty of obstruction of an official proceeding, conspiracy to prevent an officer from discharging any duties, obstruction of law enforcement during civil disorder, and destruction of government property and aiding and abetting.
This is sending the signal that there are serious consequences to domestic groups that decide to interfere with the workings of democracy.
The jury finding Dominic Pizzola not guilty of seditious conspiracy. Unlike the other defendants in this trial, Pizzola is not alleged to have a leadership position in the organization and was inactive in Proud Boys group chats. Prosecutors playing the jury this moment from a presidential debate.
Stand back and stand by, but I'll tell you what, somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
The defense arguing it was Donald Trump who caused what occurred on January 6th and that Tarrio, who wasn't at the Capitol that day because he had been arrested, was a scapegoat. Prosecutors saying that after the insurrection, Tarrio posted to social media, quote, "Make no mistake, we did this." I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
The jury also did not reach a verdict with regards to some defendants on charges of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers, as well as destruction of government property and aiding and abetting. The jury returned to deliberations on those counts. This morning, we are discussing first aid skills.
Yeah, Rob McCann spent 18 years in education and was just welcomed to Paris High School this past summer. 12 years prior to that, he served as a lifeguard throughout the Bluegrass area.
He put that past experience to use in an emergency during lunch one day. McCann spotted a student choking on her food and performed the Heimlich maneuver.
McCann says the significance of that opportunity has slowly sunk in, and he's feeling the love from the people of Paris. But most important to him is that his student is safe and well. And that brings us to our question for you this morning. How important is it for you to be learning some first aid skills? Well, 88% of you say that it is very important. 8% of you say it's somewhat important. And 4% of you say that it is important. So make sure you take time to vote through our website, our app, take part in discussion on our Facebook page, our Facebook page. Safety is key.
Yes. That's where you can learn about safety.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Chris. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. We've got KOAM's very own Shannon Becker live in studio again, ready to wrap up the week with those big 3 news stories, including one about this blimp.
And we've got ourselves clouds increasing, a cool day and a bit on the breezy side before we quickly make a jump into summertime. We'll take a look at that forecast. But first, here's another live look from Baxter Springs ahead of Cowtown Days.
Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker returning to our studio again this morning, here with the big 3 stories of the week.
That's right. What's live and local breaking news at number 3 this week? Still searching for a missing man. Dakota Patton in Labette County talked to his brother this week. They are very upset, obviously. Haven't heard from him since April 25th. His vehicle was located out here really far in a remote field with 2 flat tires, confirmed by the sheriff. You could submit tips anonymously to the KBI. KBI have been searching with Neosho County authorities near the Neosho River also. Number 2, Joplin News First. Tuesday morning, well, it's really Friday morning, but Tuesday morning is closing. Thank you for 49 years of loyalty and support. If they just could have held on for one more, but they couldn't.
I know. I knew there was a Tuesday morning in Joplin, but I did not know they'd been there for 49 years.
I don't know if they've been at this location for 49 years because it was a Chinese restaurant before.
Okay,
but
I was
the
gonna say,
company,
I was like,
the company has
wow.
been around. They're from Dallas, but this has got to be here at least almost 20 years.
So sad. So many big, these bigger
Pier
businesses
1, Bed Bath & Beyond, all those kind of as long as Ross isn't going out of business, we'll all be fine, right? Our number 1 story, it was the blimp. So cool.
How did I miss this?
I don't know. It's big. The blimp is big. It's a big blimp. I remember when I was a kid in 2nd grade, the blimp came to the Joplin Airport. The Mayflower is what it was called. And it was really cool, really memorable. So that's the tethering truck.
How many people
drives around.
Can they keep in this?
I think they're it's like 6 or 8, not very many. It's not like you're the Hindenburg going places and stuff like that.
Did they talk about where they were headed, where they were coming from?
Well, they actually just stopped here to get gas, and then it got too windy, so they stayed for a couple of days. But they have a couple of different crews, and they obviously go to different big events. We don't know, we weren't privy to their schedule, but we did know when they were taking off, and we did catch that when they left that day. It was still windy, And then our bonus story of the week, Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. That's what's happening every May. So for drivers and motorcycle operators, this motorcyclist crashed on his own, but wasn't wearing a helmet near 13th and Jung. Critical injuries this last weekend. And then also a driver failed to yield in McDonald County to a motorcyclist on Missouri 43 near the Oklahoma line. He did die at the scene at that crash earlier this week. Southwest City Fire responded to that crash, and Missouri State Highway Patrol investigate. Tragedy. So every May, this weekend going to be better weather, Motorcycle Awareness Month.
We all have friends who ride.
Yep.
And we don't want anything to happen to them.
Exactly.
So just be aware of who's out there. Give them space.
Yeah, sure. And even those little scooters, boy, you see those scoots? They scoot around Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Watch out. Those look dangerous.
But still fun.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
It's
your big 3.
There we go.
Have a good weekend.
You too. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, gracias.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:42 on this Friday morning. We're almost done with the morning show here. We've still got those scattered showers in parts of southeast Kansas, a couple more of those possible into the late morning hours, and then we'll dry out, but we're going to stay cloudy. You can see the sunshine starting to disappear from the MoDOT camera at 20th and Rangeline, and same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400. A little bit of a shadow out there, a little bit of sunshine, but look at these clouds rolling back in across the area. And we will be mostly cloudy today, and that's going to keep us a little cooler than what we were hoping. We're looking at 57 in Joplin right now, south-southeast breeze at 13. Across the area, not much warming going on. We're going there slowly but surely. We got 58 Miami, 57 in Chautauqua, Parsons, Pittsburgh, 58 Chanute, Neodesha, and 55 in Nevada, Lamar, Carthage, 56 in Neosho. We got our day started. We're going to have some breezy conditions out there. Nothing too crazy, but a bit on the breezy side. Clouds increase. Got those isolated shower chances in southeast Kansas, making it up to the mid-60s by late morning. And as we head into the afternoon, mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures low to mid-70s. And we head into this evening and into the early overnight. We're going to stay mostly cloudy. Then we'll turn partly cloudy overnight and drop back down to a fairly mild 65 degrees ahead of a much milder near 90 Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, great day to get outside, do what you need to do. Down to 67. Another great day Sunday to get out and do what you need to do. And we got those evening showers that are going to come in late evening Sunday. And then every day next week, all the way through next weekend, we have scattered shower and thunderstorm chances. There's a possibility each day that one or two of those storms could be strong, possibly severe. We're not talking a week-long severe weather outbreak, and we're not talking every single storm we see, but there could be a couple of stronger ones, and of course we'll keep you updated on those should they pop up. Otherwise, more much-needed rain chances, warm temperatures, 70s and 80s, and great overnight lows as temperatures drop back into the 60s. That is a check of your forecast. Now here's Tanya Bach with a check of Consumer Watch.
That's right. More than 4 million Americans will begin receiving payments next week as part of a year-old settlement between all 50 states and the District of Columbia and the tax software company Intuit. Payments will range from around $30 to $85. It stems from a 2019 report which found the company steered eligible low-income tax filers away from free services and tricked them into paying a fee for filing with the company's TurboTax software. According to the settlement website, the payments will be mailed automatically. BMW has issued a do not drive warning for 90,000 vehicles made between 2000 and 2006, cautioning drivers that their airbags could fail and explode in a crash. The cars are covered under the Takata airbag recall, though drivers may not have gotten the necessary repairs. BMW is asking affected owners to park their vehicles immediately and contact their dealership for a free repair. Google is giving the world a sneak peek at its first foldable smartphone. The tech giant teased the Pixel Fold in a video posted to Twitter and YouTube. The phone has a vertical hinge that, when open, reveals a tablet-like display. Now, Google has not shared the Pixel Fold specs, but it could provide more detail when it hosts its annual developer conference next week. The company is expected to unveil a new Pixel budget phone during the event, as well as its latest Android operating system and advancements to its AI-powered Bard chatbot. And it is Cinco de Mayo. Retailers nationwide are giving out discounts to celebrate. Chipotle is offering a free delivery with a special code, while other major dining chains, including Applebee's and Taco Bell, are offering food and drink discounts. We'll be right back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. A woman is lucky to be alive after a sheriff's deputy in Indiana saved her from choking.
Jeannie Moose has a look at the dramatic dash cam video.
It's one thing to do the Heimlich on a dummy.
Thumb tucked into my fist.
But Deputy Jerry Weber was captured on his dash cam doing the real thing.
I've never done it before. I've never even seen it done. So I was wondering to myself, like, is this going to work?
The Noble County, Indiana Sheriff's deputy heard the call from a passing motorist come in over 911 live.
We have a policeman route. Okay, I can use the highway. Oh my gosh.
He arrived in less than a minute.
She was trying to talk to me, but she was unable to talk. She was again doing the universal choking sign.
And turning red, she positioned her back to the deputy and he started abdominal thrusts.
I was afraid I was going to hurt her. So I did it 3 or 4 times and I stopped. I'm like, can you breathe yet? Are you okay yet? No.
So he kept going. The 8th thrust was the charm, though at first no food came out.
How did you know that she was okay?
So she said something. What she said is, ow, my back.
And then she expelled what was stuck.
Do we know what she ate?
I believe she said that it was French fries, actually.
The deputy described her as very grateful. He says she was living in her car.
Is there any lesson you take from this whole experience?
That the Heimlich works, yeah. That's a good feeling, knowing that it actually works.
Not just a how-to chart or a dummy, but hands-on proof for a deputy who himself didn't choke when faced with doing the Heimlich for the very first time. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
Absolutely incredible. And it goes back to what we've been talking about this morning, the importance of learning first aid skills, because that can make the difference between life and death.
And I think we've been asking people, how important do you think it is to learn these skills and stuff? And like 80% of our viewers are agreeing that
it's
we
very
need to learn
important.
these.
And that's just, again, a prime example as to how important these skills really are.
Yep.
Well, we've still got some scattered showers out there across parts of southeast Kansas, and we may even continue to see a few isolated showers as we head into late morning on the Skywatch Storm Tracker. And once these showers clear out, we're not going to clear out from the clouds, and that's going to end up keeping us a little bit cooler. Taking a look at the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line in Joplin, you can see not nearly as sunny as it was earlier this morning, and same from the KDOT camera at 69 and 400, starting to lose a little bit of that sunlight. And here's why. Our camera 7th and Range Line shows these clouds spreading back in like the mothership from Independence Day. We got 57 in Joplin, mostly cloudy, south-southeast breeze at 13. Around the region, temperatures still hovering in the mid to upper 50s. We got 58 in Neodesha, Chanute, 57 Parsons, Pittsburgh, Chetopa, 58 Miami, and 56 in Neosho. We get our day going. We'll still have some breezy conditions, nothing too crazy, but breezy for sure. Clouds will continue to increase, and we got those isolated shower chances, scattered shower chances across parts of southeast Kansas. As we head into the afternoon for the rest of our day, still cloudy. That keeps us a little bit cooler than what we were hoping. We're looking at low to mid 70s as we head into the afternoon. Clouds stick with us as we head into the evening as well. It'll be mostly cloudy through the early overnight hours. Then we'll become a little more partly cloudy, and we stay mild, dropping back down to 65 for our overnight low, ahead of temperatures near 90 Saturday and Sunday. I mean, look at this, 88, 87. We've got a great day Saturday. We got a great day for most of Sunday. It won't be until late evening when the showers arrive. And then we've got these much needed rain chances every day next week, all the way through next weekend. Temperatures remaining in the 70s and 80s, overnight lows in the 60s. So plentiful chances for rain this week. Got something in my eye. We're also going to keep an eye on these storms because each day there is the remote possibility we could see a strong or severe thunderstorm because the atmosphere will be just right. So if any of them do decide to get unruly, we'll let you know, but otherwise just some more much needed rain chances. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. 20 years ago, a deadly tornado killed 19 people and injured 143 in southeast Kansas and southwest Missouri. It also destroyed or damaged thousands of homes. The F3 tornado that hit Carl Junction, Missouri, touched down in Cherokee County, Kansas, before moving through Smithfield and then into Carl Junction. More than 30% of the buildings in the city were damaged, including $6.5 million in damage to the schools. That same day, an EF4 tornado destroyed about 200 homes in Franklin, Kansas, as well as the post office and the community center. Tornado lifted briefly before touching back down across the state line in rural Barton County, Missouri. In all, that tornado claimed 7 lives. Graduation is quickly approaching for Kansas City University medical students. In less than a week, David Konarowski's dreams of becoming a doctor will become a reality. But before the white coat, he was wearing coveralls in a mechanic shop. Although he's older than the average medical student, he knows he can still impact the world.
We've got mostly cloudy skies for us today, keeping us a little bit on the cool side, low to mid 70s for highs and breezy conditions. Not too breezy, but breezy. We head into this evening, clouds hang with us. We turn partly cloudy overnight and stay mild, dropping back down to 65. That 65 sets us up for temperatures near 90 degrees tomorrow and Sunday. And then we have thunderstorm chances every day next week through next weekend, so some more much needed rainfall on the way, and temperatures staying quite mild in the 70s, 80s, overnight lows in the 60s.
All right. Well, we've got the perfect way to end the week. It's Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, it is. Every year on the 5th of May, Americans celebrate Mexican-American heritage and pride.
United States Congress issued a proclamation in 2005 calling on Americans to observe Cinco de Mayo.
Most people do so by enjoying a Mexican-themed meal and drinks like tacos and margaritas.
You can also explore Mexican culture, music, dance, and film.
And my wife is a huge fan of Mexican food, and I'm wondering if that's how we're going to celebrate today, by going out to one of her favorite Mexican restaurants. She's got a couple of them, so.
I make some really yummy, I call them dirty nachos. They're really good. Like a whole platter of nachos that's got cheese and lettuce and onion and tomatoes and grilled chicken and jalapenos. Can't forget the jalapenos, sour cream, salsa.
I can
List
forget
goes
the
on.
jalapenos. A little too spicy for me.
Ooh,
Well, if you do celebrate today, make sure you do so, of course, safely and responsibly. And we want to thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We will be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.